finish the book, and then I'll go and get food. There's how many chapters here? Only 9 chapters, so there's 2 more. So we'll read on. Chapter 8, Home by Day. Jack could hear the flapping wings of the sound of the city breathing. The lion flew and circled above the whirlpool. Then he soared in a great arc through the sky. We're going back now, cried Annie. Jack lowered his head. He buried his face again in the lion's shaggy wet mane. He didn't look up. He was too tired to think, and he gave himself over to the lion's wondrous powers of flight. The lion carried Jack and Annie back through the dawn. As they glided over the calm sea, the water sparkled with light from the rising sun. By the time the lion reached the sky over the Venice, the darkness had turned to day. Shades of lavender glowed above the city's towers and domes and spirals, and Venice was veiled in a soft pink light. The lion flew to St. Mark's Square, glided toward the clock tower, moving more and more slowly. Finally, he landed softly like a cat on the terrace of the tower. Jack took a deep breath and stroked the lion's golden mane. Then he and Annie climbed off the lion's back, and Jack's legs felt wobbly. He clutched the lion for a moment, and then he got his balance. The lion let out a low growl. He turned his huge head, and licked Jack's hand. His rough tongue felt like sandpaper. Jack laughed. Annie laughed too as the lion licked her. You were magnificent, she said. Yes, Jack, that was a great ride. You'll find different people always remember different things. The lion let out a long purr. Then he pulled away from the two of them and padded to the edge of the terrace. The lion gave Jack and Annie one last look over his shoulder. Then he leaped out over the terrace railing and landing silently on the ledge below. Looking over the railing, Jack and Annie watched. The living lion began to become a statue again. In the instant, his shaggy mane, golden back, powerful legs, tough tail, feathered wings, all turned to carved gray stone. Oh, said Jack sadly. He missed the living lion hiding inside the stone statue. A thundered bong made Jack and Annie jump beside them, and the two bronze men were striking into their giant bell. They struck it 6 times. At 6 in the morning, said Annie. We were gone a long time. Yeah, said Jack. Hey, look at the angel weather vane now, said Annie. Jack looked up at the golden angel on top of the watchtower, and the weather vane was turning in the wind. It suddenly stopped and pointed toward the west. Remember the last line from Merlin's letter, said Annie. She recited them from memory. An angel of gold will show you the way. To the sea by night and home by day. I guess now that Venice is safe, the angel is telling us time to go home, said Jack. Yep, said Annie. Jack picked up his backpack, and he and Annie headed down the stairs of the tower. When they reached the bottom, they stepped out in the darkness into the bright morning light. Only a few puddles of water dotted the square. Carnival had ended, and the people in the costumes had all gone home. A flock of pigeons fluttered noisily about the cobblestone, picking at orange peels, squash grapes, torn ribbons, and feathers. There was no sign of the flood except some patched seaweed. Jack turned and looked up the clock tower. The morning sun cast a rosy light over the lion's stone body. The lion stood with pride and dignity watching over